I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Allegany County Board of Education for May 7th, 2024. Would you all please stand for the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Llewellyn, could we have the reading of the closed session summaries, executive session for April 2nd?
The Allegany County Board of Education met in closed session on April 2nd at 4 p.m. here at the central office. The purpose of the closed session was to consult with legal counsel, discuss a personnel matter, discuss a school security issue, and engage in administrative function. 4 board members were present. The topics discussed was school security incident, renewal of board attorney contract, solar eclipse, and superintendent recommendation for appointment of certificated position.
Thank you. The next thing on the agenda is the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Ms. Bender?
Second.
Ms. Lepley? All those in favor? Approved and moved. Next is the superintendent's report. Mr. Blank.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. The first thing on our agenda, I want to take a moment to recognize our student board member, Alex Robertson. I'm going to open it up, and if the board members have anything to say first, then I'll finish.
You have done a great job. Since my time on the board, I think you've been one of the most involved student board members we've had in providing feedback while we're at the meetings and speaking about things that are relevant to the student body. And you have represented yourself very well, and we wish you good luck this coming year in whatever you decide to do.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Bond.
Just want to say, Crystal summed it up pretty well. Eloquent speaker. You've been very contributed to a lot of our discussions, and wish you the best in the future.
And I want to echo everything they've said. You've been a great board member. You've been somebody that really has been involved and really presented a good image and thoughtful thoughts for the students, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Alex, could you share what your next steps are? Just quickly. I know you have an event here to go to, but
So I will be going to the University of Maryland or Washington College. I haven't decided yet. The deadlines were pushed back because of all of the FAFSA stuff. So I was offered to play softball for Washington College, so if I go there, that's what I'll be doing. But I'm kind of juggling the athletic piece and the academic piece, so trying to look at those two. So not 100% sure yet, but that's the idea.
yeah. Well, congratulations. That's normal. And as you change your mind, as you look for your right path, changing our mind and changing our path is fine. I just want to say, having the pleasure to meet you at MABE, and then but before that, but through MABE and seeing you in leadership roles such as running the National Honor Society, all by herself with the administration behind. She actually ran the entire event. Not too many students have that ability to do that as professionally as you did. And I have to come back to it because I see her sitting here too. But to see the Fort Hill show, I would have loved to have been able to see it twice when your sister here and the two of you being in 2 of the leads. That was really fun for me to see that. But again, you're ahead of your age, and we think that whatever goals you decide to do, whatever path you take, you're going to be very successful. And we appreciate all the input and your insight from the students' eyes for everything that you've done here for the board. And tonight, I want to give you this from the board.
Thank you. I'll say something real quick. Thank you all again for having me and being such a great board. I was really excited when I first got elected, and it's been a lot of fun and just helped me build my skills and communicate with students. So I've really enjoyed it, and it's just doing things like this I really like doing. So doing this with NHS president and student body president and the different things, it's definitely made my senior year better. So I'm very excited for the future, and I wish good luck to the Futures Mob. Do you know who that is? Okay, well, I wish luck to the next one, so thank you.
And we do have a meeting, our next meeting is June 11th, but we typically recognize the student because for some reason, we think the students probably have other things going on in their world after graduation. So, but you're more than welcome. Next, we'll call on Dr. Welsh to recognize another student who also has an event. It's a girls softball game, so we changed the schedule to allow the students to be able to go to their other event, and then we'll go back to our regular order. Oh, it's a choir. Yeah, dropped the ball there. I'm sorry. Got a few things. Yep.
Yes, good evening, President Farrell, Mr. Blank, and members of the board. Come together this evening with some community partners in that spirit of celebrating community partnership and the support that we enjoy from our community partners, and that we're able to connect them with our students and provide additional opportunities. Just a really super quick update before I introduce the next introducers. We did have, in the spirit of community partnership, just on the 1st of May last week, our annual Student Health and Wellness Fair, and we had 228 student participants this year, which is greatly a great increase over previous years. We had 34 community partners come, and were able to give out over 43 prizes to students who came as attendance incentives, and most of those were donated by other community partners. So it was really a fantastic event. So these folks have been our partners for quite some time as well, the Women's Action Coalition, and tonight they're going to be honoring one of our students with the Changemakers Scholarship. So I'll pass it to Sherry Snyder and Carmen Jackson.
Good evening. Hello, Mike. How are you? And this is Ella. My name is Sherry Snyder, as they said, and I chair the Allegany County Women's Action Coalition. And with me are my committee members, which Carmen Jackson, I've got Keith Potts, and red buttons on, good. I was afraid I hadn't done that. And also Steve Wallet. So we're here to present our award, and I'm pleased to announce that Ella Valentine, who is a senior at Fort Hill, she's the recipient of our $1,000 scholarship this year. Ella's submission of her application included the speech that she wrote for the Rotary Speech Contest in 2024. And in this speech, she advocated for increased attention to the needs of LGBTQ plus students, including mental health services, access to safe spaces, easier ways to report bullying, and more training for staff and faculty. Now, Ella plans to obtain a bachelor's and a master's degree in anthropology and eventually a doctorate degree. So she ended her application with this statement. Making change, she said, comes not just from within, but from being an example to others. And Ella, we see you as a powerful example in character, words, and deeds to our community and to the world. So congratulations, and here is your certificate, and here is your check. So thank you very much for having us tonight.
Man, what am I not involved in is the question. Like Alex, I'm very busy. I'm not as much on the athletic side, but I just finished up my final color guard season with Allegany Performance Company. We went to Wildwood, New Jersey and competed in the Tournament Indoor Association Championships. I'm an active member in the choir, which is where we're going after this.
Yep.
The theater department, I worked tech for the show and staying backstage. It was a lot of fun. And I've been a 3-year defense attorney in mock trial, speech contests, all sorts of stuff. So
It just doesn't stop, and that
Nope, not really.
But that's a great when our students take advantage of all the opportunities. It's great to see students in so many different activities and do everything that you possibly can. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
She's definitely a change maker. That's for sure. Deserves a scholarship. Her mother's here as well, Kristen Furlow. So thank you very much for having us.
Yep. Mr. Potts.
See ya.
Yep.
Maybe not the math.
Next on the list, we have Dr. Thompson. Step out. There he
There
is.
he is.
Is this on? Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me back. We have this evening opportunity to recognize some of our high school students for their accomplishments in mathematics. The student we're recognizing first has been a frequent individual to come to the board meetings for recognition. Colin Sheehy is a senior at Allegany High School and has been just simply a shining star for mathematics as long back as we can remember. Math counts competitions, winning those straight through, and then all the competitions that he's been able to participate in at Allegany Wildland High School, he has done exceedingly well in. The award we're going to recognize him with this evening is for his leading the county in the University of Maryland mathematics competition, which is open to students at all of the county high schools. This is his second year coming in as the top student in Allegheny County. Just to highlight a few other things regarding Colin's accomplishments that are noteworthy and really astonishing. Colin is a student who has a perfect SAT, has a perfect math PSAT score. He's taken 10 AP exams. He has gotten 5s on all of those. By the time he walks across the stage at Allegany here in a couple weeks, he will have 15 college credits in mathematics, which is only one course short of a minor in mathematics while still as a high school student. Colin, aside from his participation in mathematics, is widely involved in a number of school activities at Allegany High School, but I'll reserve my comments just for math and let others have their moment in the sun with Colin and his other involvements that he is in. So at this point, we'd like to recognize Colin not only for what he did this year, but for what he's been able to give us and the pride we have in his accomplishments for his time here in Allegany High School and Allegany County Public Schools. We wish him well moving ahead. As his mom explained to me earlier, it's kind of a coin toss between Carnegie Mellon and University of Maryland Honors College with still a chance at Princeton in play for him. So Colin, we'd like to recognize you for not only, again, what you've done this year, but what you've done and accomplished in your entire time at Allegany County Schools. We are extremely proud of you. Send my next group in.
Oh, wait a second. It's not that easy. Come on. I thought someone else was going to say something here. Just let me, Colin, come on up here. I just want to ask you a couple questions just to clarify. Tell me, the SAT, you got what?
Perfect 1600.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
I know you're through your math counts, all the different accomplishments you've made. What's been the hardest thing you've done through high school?
Oh,
If there was-
that's a tough one. I don't even know what I would count is the hardest thing.
I go see the competitions and turn around when I'm at the environmental-thon not that long. There you go with your group somewhere. You're involved in all those different things. I know that you. I know you want to respond because that's the gentleman that you saw. I know. Go ahead.
I saw him at Clear Spring in the FFA competition where he finished first, and he's headed to the state competition in July. So I'll probably see him again there, but
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. Did a phenomenal job down there. So
Thank you.
impressive.
And I'll probably stop because I see Mom's having a hard enough time when we talk about where you're going to go and where you're going to be next year. But congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just congratulations. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, the other recognitions we'd like to make is for our participation in the Allegheny College of Maryland Tri-State Math Contest, which ironically is one of the few things that Colin did not win because they didn't have it the year he was eligible to participate. This contest is open exclusively to juniors, and it was held yearly up until COVID, and then it ceased to exist for several years, and then thankfully Allegheny College brought it back for this year. So we had participants from all 4 of our schools, along with schools from Pennsylvania and West Virginia that participated. The competition, in a nutshell, is students are given 20 extremely challenging, difficult problems that they are to answer within an hour period of time. They get points for answering questions correctly. They get deducted points for answering questions incorrectly. So sometimes a student can end up with a negative score if they guess more wrong than they are able to answer correctly. But our students did extremely well with this. Allegany High School won the team competition. In fact, 4 of the top 10 placing students were from Allegany High School. So I'd like to recognize Mr. Nestor, the coach from Allegany High School, with the team certificate for coming in first with the Allegany College Math Contest. The remaining certificates are for our individual participants. Of the participants in the top 10, which they recognize with awards, 7 of those are our students. Coming in first overall from Mountain Ridge High School, Sophia Zhang. Coming in third from Allegany High School is Alexis Johnston, who is unable to be with us this evening. All 3 of each of the top 3 students who finished also got scholarship award in addition to certificate recognition from Allegany College. Also competing in the top 10 was Nicola Litton from Allegany High School, who is not here. James Chen from Mountain Ridge High School. Anna Hildebrand from Allegany High School is unable to be with us. We have Violet Strozakowski from the Career Center, who's also unable to be with us, and then Emmanuel Kajenga from Allegany High School, who is with us.
Can you tell us a little bit about the competition? Is it a group and individual, or how does it work?
It's just an individual one.
Okay, and it's 20. You said it's 20
It's
questions.
20 questions. The top 3 scores from each school constitute the team score. So Allegany's team score, they had the highest 3 of any of the other schools to capture the team.
Because this is a competition that just came back. We haven't had
It
this
came back,
in a
and
while.
This was
So.
the 34th. And while I recognize Alleghany came in first, Mountain Ridge was second.
And the how long did you have to take the 20 questions you had? What was your timeline?
It was 50 minutes, right? Yeah. 50?
50 minutes.
That's without calculators.
Yeah. How hard was it?
It was pretty hard.
It's pretty hard. Mr. Nestor, strategies to prepare the students. I know it's a
tough test. It's not your normal orthodox questions that we usually present in the classroom. They seem to be worded up differently, and they'll take a topic that is studied in the classroom but presented in an entirely different way. So I told some of my kids, I'm like, look at this time-wise. You got 20 minutes or 20 questions to do in 50 minutes. So you can't spend 3 or 4 minutes on a question just trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
So if within 20 seconds you don't have a direction to go with the question, probably move to another one. So that was something that timeline is tough.
Yeah.
I looked at several of the questions. I'm like, I don't want to do that in that time constraint.
They're amazing, aren't they?
They are really.
Once you've
good group.
worked with them and shown them the little they
Yeah,
can
once
do
you
it
get down
so
to do
fast.
that, outside of that constraint and all that stress, it's a little easier to do. But,
Yeah. Well-
in that setting, that's tough.
Well, congratulations to you and all of our instructors who helped our students to be so successful, and congratulations to you all. Yep.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is a proclamation recognizing May 3rd, 2024 as School Lunch Hero Day. Dr. David Bond has a proclamation for Mr. Todd Lutton, Supervisor of Food Services. Todd.
So Friday, May 3rd, 2024 has been designated School Lunch Hero Day, and school is where the children grow, learn about life. They spend 7 to 8 hours of their day at school, and nutritious meals at school are an essential part of the school day to promote growth and development of the children. Whereas the staff of the district's food service department are committed to providing healthful, nutritious meals to the district's children, and the men and women who prepare and serve school meals help nurture our children through their daily interactions and support. Therefore, we, the Board of Education of Allegheny County, express our deep appreciation to these valuable employees and commend their good work on behalf of the children, and do hereby proclaim Friday, May 3rd, 2024, School Lunch Hero Day. Signed, Robert Farrell, Board President, and Jeffrey Blank, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Lutton, there's a certificate for you. Thanks again for your hard work and all your staff. Okay,
Thank you. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Just real quick. On behalf of the food service. It just takes a second.
No. Red light's on.
Okay, all right. On behalf of the food service department, I thank you for the recognition for the staff. They work very hard throughout the year serving the students of Allegheny County, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Congratulations, and I know it's been a whirlwind over the years, and we appreciate all the things that our food services have been able to do for our students over summer schools, and prior to that, all the hard work that you and your department and all your employees do, so thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Next on the agenda is a recognition of cheer students, special education program. Dr. Wendy Main.
Hi,
Good evening.
Wendy.
Where's Wendy?
Wendy.
Sorry. Thanks for having me again. I am here tonight for something completely different. So we're not blueprinting tonight, but we're cheering tonight. So I am very, very proud to be here, and I do. Oh, sorry. And I do appreciate Mr. Blank inviting us here to once again talk about our cheer program. So I am not going to go through all of these slides. I'm just going to tell a quick story, and then we'll get on with it. Because we did give you some information last year. So the most important piece that I wanted to talk about tonight is just that our cheer program is a fabulous collaboration with Allegheny College of Maryland for our students who are seniors receiving special services in their senior year of high school. So our collaborative program with ACM allows our students to be on campus full-time. It's a total immersion program. They go to campus, they work on their graduation requirements through a blended arrangement with our alternative schools. So some virtual learning as well as some in the classroom learning. We do have an ACPS teacher, Mr. Alan Twigg, and an instructional assistant, Ms. Morgan Board, there on our campus with us. And this year, our students have earned 119 college credits. So that is pretty amazing. So, so we are actually in our second year. So this is our second cohort. We're hopeful to have a third cohort. We're really in the middle of recruiting students right now, so that's very exciting. Michal, anything you want to say?
I wanted to thank ACPS for the opportunity for this collaboration. ACM is honored to be host of these wonderful students. And as we had mentioned before last year, the growth that we have seen, the connections between the students, the attendance, the retention of the students are paramount. And not only this, because those are all admin words, but the fact that they see a future in higher education and the fact that they believe in themselves, the fact that they are here in front of you earning all these college credits, that they have made it, says a lot. And everybody is so very proud of them. We check in often with Mr. Twigg. We have all services on campus. We are including them in all events that are happening at ACM, and it is a great collaboration. And again, we're very happy to have them each and every year. So we're going to recruit some more.
We're gonna do our third year, I'm certain of it. So just a quick thank you to really our whole team at ACM for taking a chance and working with us. It's been a wonderful collaboration, and I haven't asked for anything that I haven't received, so no pressure, Mr. Blank. But
I just want to say congratulations and thanks for the partnership for helping our community. I want to recognize the families, how important it is for our students that our families are so supportive, and you're showing that by being here this evening. So thanks for your support and helping us have a successful program. And I want to put someone on the spot real quick, but Mr. Twigg, tell me, what's your favorite part of the program? Easy question.
Just the growth and just the college and career readiness.
Yeah.
Seeing these kids,
Giving kids opportunities
to be successful after high school.
Yeah. And thanks for your leadership, both of you, for setting the program up and affording our students the opportunity.
So, and also, I think it would be remiss not to thank the administrators of each of our comprehensive high schools. They've been very supportive, and I believe are here tonight somewhere in this crowd. So I'm very thankful to them and Ethan DeVore and his staff at Restart. So if we could just take a minute, we have certificates, and if I could just introduce the kids to you, and then we'll be out of here. So first we have Mr. Julian Fiskus, and he's here with Stephen and Marta Fiskus, his mom and dad. Julian is going to major in general studies, but he may take a year off to travel and work. So he is kind of in that undecisive mode. So we've enjoyed Julian this year from Allegany High School, and he is a mean guitar player. Yeah.
Lead or bass?
There you go. Secondly, we have Mr. Nick Bointello, and he's here with his dad, Eddie Bointello. Nick is going to major in psychology at ACM, and he's also considering a year to work and travel. So lots of energy there with Nick as well. Layla Smith-Dennison is here. Layla is, and Nick's a Fort Hill student as well, but Layla is a Fort Hill student, and she is here with her boyfriend Daniel and her nephew Clayton, who's got something to say there. And Layla is going to continue at ACM, registered, ready to go in the area of human services. So Layla's done very well this year. We're proud of her. So next we have Lindsay Turnett, and she's here with her mom, Jennifer, and she is on her way to Potomac State to be a nurse. So Lindsay, I got this wrong in the Lincoln Room, but she has received several awards from Fort Hill, sports awards, right? Soccer and softball. Did I get it right this time? And an academic scholarship to Potomac State. So we were glad to have Lindsay and proud that she's with us. Last but not least, from Fort Hill, we have Molly Arnell, who's behind us here. Molly is going to continue at ACM in nursing, and she is here with her dad, JW. So he's back there somewhere. So there he is. From Mountain Ridge, we have 2 students. We have Brandon Fry, who's here with his mom, Tammy, and he's going to continue at ACM in multimedia. Brandon's here. And we have Sydney McKenzie, who's here with her mom, Katie, and she's going to continue at ACM in nursing. So this is, I'm very, very proud of these young adults. They have persevered through many, many difficult situations, and they are here tonight to celebrate, and it's the first step in their very successful lives that are going to come. So I'm proud of them, and thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to be here. So.
There he is, the man of the hour. Hi, Gene.
Give that button a little push there.
I think you rigged that so it does it, doing it to everybody. We're going to, we have a proclamation to recognize May as Pupil Personnel Worker of the Month. Ms. Lepley has the proclamation.
Maryland is proud to recognize pupil personnel workers for serving all the children, all the people, promoting the opportunities for every child to experience a safe and healthy environment. Pupil personnel workers are specialists trained to consider and assess the needs of the total child and serve as the school's liaison with family, community, organizations, and social agencies to foster the child's physical, psychological, and intellectual growth. Pupil personnel workers work collaboratively with the resources of each home, school, community, essential, and good mental, emotional, physical health of each child necessary to advance effective teaching, learning, and the achievement in schools. It is important that people of Maryland honor the unique and essential role of the pupil personnel workers, have a little bit of a cold. So it is important that the people of Maryland honor the unique and essential role that the pupil personnel workers play in the personal and academic development of Maryland's children. The dedicated professionals do an outstanding job nurturing the growth, maturity, and responsibility that adulthood and good citizenship require. So on behalf of the board, we'd like to present this to you.
You taking anything for it?
No.
On behalf of myself and my colleagues, Kim Taylor, Tracy Duncourt, Alyssa Pancake, and Sandy Arnold, thank you for this proclamation and recognition. We are proud and honored to be a part of the student service team for Allegheny County Public Schools. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our director, Debbie Matheny, and the Assistant Supervisor of Student Services, Dr. Sarah Welsh, for their support and guidance. Thank you very much.
Now, I need to say that
I was going to say,
we've worked together for how many years? 20 some?
Easy.
And Gene has decided to retire this year. I think he should stay another year or two, but I'm sure you've got things that you need to do.
All right, I turned the mic back on so we can have this discussion. After 44 years of being in education, I think it's time. But I've enjoyed it immensely.
You're not planning on like sleeping in or anything like that, are you?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
He could use some help with his golf game.
Quit that. Don't start that tonight.
Congratulations, Gene.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
He's back.
Wow. We thought you were gone. Oh, okay. This is recognition of student page. Mr. Logston.
Yes, sir. Board President Farrell, members of the board, Mr. Blank. During the 2024 legislative season, the Maryland General Assembly hosts student pages, and each year there's 105 of them that are chosen. We have, of course, one of our student pages who went down, and he served 2 non-consecutive weeks, and his duties revolved around whatever was needed by the Senate side and on the delegate side. This year's page is a senior at the Career Center. His future plans are enrolling in the culinary arts program and opening his own restaurant. Can't wait for that. That'd be great. He's the state master counselor for DMLA. He's a member of the bowling team, class VP, and the treasurer of the Skills USA team. Very busy young man, and Matthew McKay is here with us. Congratulations. Matthew, you like to say anything about
Well, I got a question for him. Matthew, tell me, what did you learn when you were down there? What do you think?
Just learning how bills passed down in Annapolis was a immense. It was a lot of fun seeing how that works and how my dad works down there, and just getting to know the politicians and even the pages from across the state. It was a rewarding experience.
And how long were you there?
I was there for 2 weeks,
So you
but
got
they
to-
weren't consecutive.
Okay.
So it was week 4 and week 10, I believe.
Were you surprised by anything?
No, I hear a lot of it at home, but
All right, now, the big question, now that you've had 2 weeks of experience and gotten to see it firsthand, do you have some advice and things at home when you're there?
not really.
Not really.
Do you think Dad was a little tough on you while you were down there, like keeping an eye on you that you didn't stray?
He would call only on me to page him, and no other pages. So I think he was a little bit tough.
We missed to notice that your dad, Senator McKay, is not in the audience to support you, and always has. And I've noticed on the campaign trail you're out there supporting him.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Kleitz, Mary, we have recognition of the student salute for 2024. Mary Kleitz from WCBC is, Andrea Kraft from the Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome.
Push the button. Oh, sorry. Superintendent Blank, members of the board, and of course all of your wonderful guests. It's so wonderful to see so many students from our county excelling. And I know you guys are very, very concerned about that and work hard at that. I promised my comments would be short, and I wrote this very short little thing, and I left my glasses in the car, so you're not even going to hear that. My sole goal, if you will, here is to thank, where do you begin? The Chamber of Commerce, the staff especially, all the work that they put in, because there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that you would never expect to happen. The Board of Education Committee of the Chamber, because they're the ones who review all the applications and get it all together. And of course, Christian from here pulls all that together for us too. The radio station has the pleasure of announcing the names on the air and a little bit about each student. And of course, we do that with the help of Chessie Federal Credit Union. And of course, Frostburg State University gets the big thank you because they really provide the money. So I really just want to say thank you. Please know how much you all are very much appreciated. I think this is around the 30th year that we've been doing this. I was trying to figure it out earlier today. And we're really, really pleased that we've been able to continue and that we've been able to impact students in this community. So thank you. Andrea, I'm going to let you do that.
I'm not normally the one that's talking from the chamber. Julie got pulled away on a family emergency. So I just want to say good evening and thank you to the members of the board and Mr. Blank for giving us a few minutes to make this presentation. I'm Andrea Kraft, Communications Manager at the Allegany County Chamber of Commerce. And like Mary said, I'm here this evening in partnership with WCBC Radio, who with sponsorship from Chessie Federal Credit Union hosts the Student Salute Program, which highlights the accomplishments of dozens of Allegany County high school seniors, students who plan to attend Frostburg State University and are also eligible for a scholarship. The Chamber's Education and Workforce Development Committee selects the top 3 students based on GPA, participation in honors, AP, college, and special programs, awards and achievements, leadership positions, extracurricular activities, employment, and volunteer contributions. This year, we will present the scholarship to the following students. Morgan Steckman from Mountain Ridge High School with a $5,000 scholarship to Frostburg State. We have Erin Worgan from Mountain Ridge High School with a $500 scholarship. And Anna Delaney from Mountain Ridge High School, also with a $500 scholarship. So congratulations to each of you. On behalf of the Chamber, WCBC, Chessie, and Frostburg State University, we wish you the very best.
Thank you. Hang on just one second. If you all could come up for a minute. First of all, I want to thank WCBC and the Chamber for 30 years. Wow. The support from the community, that's what makes Allegany County such a great place to live, and we appreciate that.
You're absolutely correct, because if it wasn't the support of the community, we would never have been able to sustain it this long, Mr.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to know from you 3 I want to know what you're going to major in. And if it's undecided, that's okay, but I'd like to know an idea what you're thinking about doing. So whoever wants to go first, share it with us. Nose goes, right? Okay.
Health science.
Health science?
Social work and psychology. I'm thinking about education.
Education. Yeah, we need some teachers around here. Well, congratulations to all 3 of you. It speaks volumes of your character and hard work. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. I called Mary earlier today to make sure she was going to be here, because it wouldn't seem like the student salute if Mary wasn't here. I've seen her, almost every year. And I told her that she couldn't bring Dave with her, and she was good with that. So thank you, Mary, for all your hard work. Thank you. Next is the proclamation recognizing May 6th to 10th as National Teacher Appreciation Week. There you are, Kim. Ms. Bender.
May 6th through the 10th, 2024 has been designated National Teacher Appreciation Week, sponsored by the National PTA. Teachers mold future citizens through guidance and education. Teachers encounter students of widely differing backgrounds. And whereas our county's future depends upon providing quality education to all students. Teachers spend countless hours preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling and coaching students, and performing community services. Our community recognizes its teachers in educating the children of this community. We, the Board of Education of Allegany County, strongly encourage all members of our community to join in personally expressing appreciation to our teachers for their dedication and devotion to their work, proclaiming National Teacher Appreciation Week, May 6th to the 10th, 2024. Teachers are shining stars. Signed by Robert Farrell, President of the Board, and Jeffrey Blank, Superintendent of Schools. Presented to Ms.
Thank you so much. I think today we have seen the reason why we all are in education, even from your seats, but definitely from our hearts. We do that so that they can excel. So we thank you for your time to recognize the hard work that all the educators do here in Allegany County. Thank you.
Dr. Caldwell, next on the agenda is the prolonged state of emergency virtual education plan.
Good evening. So tonight we are seeking approval from the board to adopt the ACPS virtual education plan for use during a prolonged state of emergency. It is a Senate bill requirement. Senate Bill 610 defines a state of emergency, that it's declared by the governor, that it prevents in-school attendance in a public school for at least 14 consecutive school days. So just like the reopening plan that we have submitted for the past few years, this plan had to have several components. We had to include staffing and personnel assignments, the student instructional plan for virtual learning, the social and emotional supports that will be given, the communication plan, the technology plan, the food services plan, and the return to in-person learning plan all had to be part of this. I want to thank Debbie Matheny and Dr. Sarah Welsh for helping me write the plan, as well as Jeffrey T. Blank and Todd Lutton for their input regarding the technology and the food services components. And then as necessary, the ACPS will consult with county government and the health department if that is deemed necessary. This draft plan was sent to principals for their input, and recommendations have been integrated into the plan as needed. The plan will be sent to the MSDE by June 1. The MSDE will review our plan using the rubric that we provided to you, and if any changes need to be made, we will modify the plan and resubmit it. And then once accepted by the MSDE, it will be posted on the website, and then it needs to be updated every 2 years. So any questions regarding the draft plan that was provided for you? And I think you all had a chance to look at the rubric and see where all the parts have been identified and have been addressed in the plan. So.
Thanks for all your hard work on the requirement.
Oh.
And hopefully it's something we'll never have to use.
I agree with you, yes. All right, well, thank you.
Next on the agenda is the Maryland Report Card update. Ms. Trina Simpson.
Good evening. How are you? Great. Just getting to the beginning here. I didn't print it for myself, so I'm going to read from my notes. I wanted to discuss the changes on the end of course exam that's being implemented for government and high school science. Starting in the school year 23-24, first time ninth graders, the American Government and Life Science Maryland Integrated Science Assessment end of course exam will count for 20% of students' final grades in the respective American Government and Life Science course. The end-of-course exams shift the emphasis from high-stakes testing to teacher instruction, with 80% of the students' course grade based on locally created teacher-designed content. The end-of-course exams measure student learning of core academic content in the respective subject areas. Previously, graduation requirements were to pass the course and also pass the state assessment. So they were two different things. You had to pass the course and also the state assessment. Students that did not pass the state assessment were retested. If unsuccessful again, students would complete bridge projects as their pathway to bridge or meet that graduation requirement. Students' performance on that state assessment had no impact on the student's course grade. The graduation requirement is now to pass the course. They have to pass the course as the graduation requirement. The assessment is 20% of the course grade. Passing the assessment alone is not a graduation requirement. Questions that come up? You may already have, but before you get to yours, can the end of course assessment change a student's grade? And this has been a lot of topic because it's given so late in the year, and a student might think I have a C or think I have an A or an F. Yes, because the end of course exam is 20% of the final grade, the end of course exam can change a student's grade. It could improve it or it could decrease it. While most grades will remain the same, most letter grades that is, that's not mine. We did it. I had some examples there and we took it out for time's sake. I had the following examples. I gave some examples where very few, if they had a very borderline D and then completely did nothing on the exam, they might actually fail the course. Or if they had a pretty high grade and then did well on the exam, it could bump them on up to the next letter grade. But most of the grades, we ran different scenarios. The state has provided a correlation chart. So the students will take the test, the score comes in, and then that gives the correlation of what the 20% of the course grade would be. The very bottom is a 50%. So no one is going to kind of barrel out getting a 0. This is very important, being it's the first year that they're implementing this anyway. And keep in mind, it is only for this, it starts with this year's 9th graders. So we do have 9th graders in the life science course that would take this, but our government is given to 10th graders. So that will not start this year for us. That will be next year's government, when they're in 10th grade. That will apply for them. If a student, another question that has come up is if the student fails the course, does the student have to retake the end of course exam as well as the course? And if a student fails with a percent eligible for credit recovery, retaking the end of course exam is not a requirement. So if their failing percentage enables them to recover the course, they can recover that and earn that credit without taking the end of course exam. If they do not meet the requirements for credit recovery and they actually have to retake the entire course over on their schedule as a full original credit, they would also have to retest again. If a student fails with a percentage too low for credit recovery, they would have to take that exam. Since 9th graders in 23-24 are the first group required for the 20% end of course exam, do other grade levels have to take the assessment if they're enrolled in the course? Yes, according to COMAR, all students must test at the end of course. The 20% applied to the final grade is only applicable for the 23-24 9th grade students and forward. So everyone else that is in the course that's never tested still needs to test to meet their graduation requirements based on COMAR, but we are not going to apply it as 20% of their grade this year. This moves me to the next section, so I think I should pause there before I start to talk about report cards and see if there's any questions on end of course exam. Yes?
It's whatever science though they're in 9th grade, correct? Like if they're in biology, it's 20%.
It is their biology course. It's not whatever science. A lot of students might take earth
I wasn't
science.
sure if life science was a general term or if it was specific to the class.
That's a great
Some of them are in
question.
life science because my son's
Yeah.
in biology, but
That
I
is
wasn't
true.
sure.
Yes. No, that's a
the
great
same
question, and I'm glad to clarify that. So for our county, the end of course assessment is at the end of their biology, honors biology, whatever the correlated course there is. Not just all 9th grade students. Some of them in their science take earth science in 9th grade. Yeah. Great question. Any other questions on that? All right, then there's just a brief update from Maryland Report Card. The report cards have been updated again, and MSDE identifies Maryland Public Schools earning a 1 or a 2-star rating in the Maryland's accountability system in 2 of the last 3 years of available data. I've given the link there towards the school report card website, which we've been on numerous times talking about different things. ACPS just had one school identified. I did put in the notes there showing you the different star ratings. So the identification is a 1 or 2 star rating in 2 of the 3 past years. We did have Westmar Middle School identified. And I think it's important to point out a few things, though, even though they were identified. In 2023, they were 2 star, as well as 22. They were never a 1 star. In 23, they were at a 44.4% of their points. And it's worth noting the previous slide shows that a 45% is the bottom of a 3-star rating. So they almost were that 3-star rating by just about a 0.5%. And then in 2022, a course reporting error was made on students' records in 2 different middle schools. This was merely a coding error, but it appeared as if 8th grader students at those 2 schools did not meet the definition of participating in a well-rounded curriculum. Students did, in fact, participate in that needed coursework. This affected the star rating of the 2 middle schools by lowering them from a 3-star to a 2-star rating. ACPS corrected the error and completed an appeal with the State Department, but that was denied that the report card would be changed and would not be updated. Had the appeal been approved, Westmar Middle would have been, should have been, truly was a 3-star school that year. And then ACPS would not have had any schools identified on this low-performing list. Any questions on Maryland report card update? Thank you.
Has anyone, Kim, you have anything to say? Anybody else? Okay, no comments? No response? Mr. Llewellyn, you're up. First reading of Student Registered Sex Offender Policy JKCA.
There was a legislative change in the criminal procedure article of the Maryland Code. It requires us to update the definition of sex offender. You can see the highlighted information, highlighted language is what's new, and that's all we're changing in this policy, just updating the sex offender definition to what's in state law.
So we need a motion to approve the first reading of this policy.
Motion to approve first reading of Student Registered Sex Offenders Entry on School Property Policy File JKCA.
Motion by Dr. Bond.
Second.
Second by Lori Lepley. Any questions? All those in favor? Unanimous. Consider first reading of Wellness and Nutrition Policy, EFA. Mr. Llewellyn.
So there's a federal regulation that requires the board have a policy, to have a wellness and nutrition policy. In review of that policy, we found that we didn't have an annual review for a public meeting for the board. So had to change the policy by adding number 11 under the policy statement, as you can see highlighted, which will require the board to annually review in a public meeting this policy. That's the only change to this policy. There's changes to the regulation. We'll do those next, but this will require 2 readings.
We need a motion to first reading of this policy.
Motion to approve first reading of policy EFA.
Ms. Bender?
Second.
Second by Dr. Bond. Any questions? All those in favor? Passed. The next is a regulation attached to this policy. Mr. Llewellyn.
Yeah, the only change to this is found on the last page, where federal regulations require that we do a triennial review on certain areas related to our wellness policy. And so we just need to insert that language there under the monitoring and policy implementation / review. This is a regulation, so unless the board objects, then this regulation will come into play immediately.
Okay. Next is consider review of education equity policy IMAA. Mr. Llewellyn.
The board is required to review this policy, I think every 3 years. We haven't reviewed it since 2019. That got flagged by MSDE, so this is important to some grant funding that we have. And so we're asking the board to just review the policy, and that's what we're doing right now. So there doesn't need to be a motion unless somebody wants to make a change to it.
Does anybody want to make a change to anything? Okay, we're good. Next is a very important thing. Vote to renew legal services. Nothing is changed in the proposal from our legal counsel as far as funds, as far as anything. We've, in my opinion, gotten very good service. So I guess I need a motion.
Move to renew our current counsel as our legal services.
Motion by Dr. Bond.
Second.
Second by Ms. Bender. All those in favor? Passed. Yay. Yeah, well, you're here for another little bit of time.
Aren't you lucky?
He'd miss us if he was
Maybe we can
You want to make a speech or anything?
Well, maybe we can improve that putting game over the next year. We'll see what we can do.
I'm getting beat. You getting in my head? Okay, next on the agenda is vote to approve prolonged state of emergency virtual education plan. We need a motion. Bender?
Motion to approve the prolonged state of emergency virtual plan that was presented.
Second.
Second by Ms. Lepley. Any questions? All those in favor? Good to go. Vote to meet in executive session June 11th, 2024 as necessary. Need a motion.
Motion to vote to meet in executive session on June 11th, 2024 is necessary.
Motion by Ms. Lepley.
Second.
Second by Ms. Bender. All those in favor? Good to go. Well, we can't do the student board member because she's singing in the choir. So we're down to board member updates. Do we have any board member updates? The only thing I was going to add is Ms. Fraley is not here this evening. I think she's watching it virtually. She did attend the exec session virtually. She was called to an important business meeting in D.C., and so that's why she's not here this evening, but she is. I'm sure you're watching, Tammy. Next, I need a motion to close.
I move to adjourn.
Dr. Braun,
Second.
Ms. Bender, all those in favor? Adjourn.